come on in. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and I'm in an event today with the Crafting Coop with Lolly event group. Hold on. Yeah, that's right. The Crafting Coop with Lolly events. Let me double check this. Get me up there. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. I came on a minute late. I am so sorry. I'm sitting here watching Karen and what she's doing. And if y'all didn't see Karen before me, go back and watch the replay. We've got all the replays today. Great talent that is lined up. Today after me is going to be Faded Fence with Trisha. So after I'm finished, you're going to want to refresh your page and go back and see what she says. So come on in. The theme today is, I misread it. I thought it was just flowers and veggies was what I put on my calendar, which it is, but the theme was to include seed packets. Well, I'm going to do the bloomed flower, y'all. So come on in and let's see where we're going to go with this. Didn't Karen do a great job? She is just too cute. She is too adorable. So, all right, so I have hemmed and hawed and tried to decide if I was going to do a tea towel or if I was going to do a canvas. And I think I'm going to go with a canvas bag. I think I'm going to go, hey, Barbara, come on in. Thanks, Ollie, I appreciate that. So I'm going to grab a wool mat. And I'm going to iron this. I don't normally iron things out, but I'm going to go ahead and iron this today just so that I get a nice flat surface. And let me get some, I'm going to put some parchment paper over this just so I don't get it dirty. Well, that's not going to help, so let me throw that away. Let me see what I have here. All right, this is good. This is good. This is good. So I'm just going to iron this so that I make sure that this is good and flat. Y'all come on in. Hey, Joyce, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Barbara. I hope you're feeling better. All right, need this to just kind of cooperate with me. Let's see here. We're going to refresh my page and see what we have here. Hope I don't scorch this. There we go, to the event group. So what's God teaching y'all these days? Hey, Allison, good to see you too. Well, you know what? I can feel it. I always forget to take these out of here, y'all. This is a silicone gel thing, and I could feel it when I was ironing on it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of Chalk Couture stencils. Chalk Couture calls them transfers, but stencils, transfers, and we're going to do really what's kind of like a silk screen method. And we're going to put this on our bag. I actually did a tea towel similar to this, and I gave it to my nephew's best friend as just kind of a I love you gift. They recently got married, and he recently got married, and his wife loves sunflowers. So we're working with sunflowers today, y'all. I'm not doing seed packets, but I am doing what comes from a seed packet. So I think that's just as good, right? All right, so I'm going to put this off to the side. It's pretty good. We're going to iron this again. So let me just give you an overview of what we're going to do today. I'm going to take, hang on. All right, I'm going to show you what, all right, I'm going to take this sunflower. This is no longer available with Chalk Couture, but the method of what I'm going to use is what you can see. I'm going to take this sunflower stencil and this checked stencil. We're going to put it, I'm going to layer it. And I'm going to put the checks down first. I'm going to dry it. Then I'm going to heat set it, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do another image on top of that, and then I'm going to dry it, and then I'm going to paint in, actually hand paint into the petals of the flower. So that's my plan. We're going to see how this all shakes out. Now, I did want to show you, hang on a minute. Where did it? Oh, I have it up. I have it right here so that it's easy for me to find. So this is the full stencil. It has two parts to it. It's kind of like a maybe a boho look, and then you've got the check part of it. And I'm only going to use the check part of this. So let me get myself situated here. And I probably, now the shirt that I have on, this is a butterfly, and you can see the different colors that I put in it in different places. This is also from a Chalk Couture stencil. So a lot of fun things that you can do with them. All right, here we go, y'all. I am going to take this out for right now because I'm going to need it later, but I don't need it now. And I'm going to take what's called Chalk Couture's Sticky Mat. And I have actually cut this into 1/3 and 2/3. Show you. It's loud. I know it's loud. This cellophane is loud on the camera. So this was all one piece, okay? And I needed something for an 8.5 by 12, and I needed something, and and it just ended up, I did not plan it to be, 1/3 and 2/3, even though I am a math teacher, former math teacher by occupation. Anyway, I just cut it to the sizes that I needed. So we're going to put that over here. This comes with a protective top to it. And down inside, let's see, this is going to be pretty close. So we're going to stick this. We're going to see if it's going to fit this way. If not, we'll orient it. Oh, will you look at that? Will you look at that? So what are y'all learning these days? Anybody learning anything that they want to share with us? I'd love to learn. All right, now what this is going to do is we're going to stick this down to the canvas bag. Let's see which side I want. I think I want to flip it over the other way, y'all. So for those of you that are new, you are in an event with the Crafting Coop with Lolly event group. And my page name is Nothing is Wasted Designs. My name is Julie. Welcome. I hope that all of us that are in our event today can inspire you to try something new. Hey, Karen. Hey, Terry. Good to see you. We hope that we can inspire you to try something new, reach outside your comfort zone, or perfect something or that you already know how to do and just make it better. So either way, welcome. If you're not following any of the crafters who are in the comments, please give them a follow, and that helps their page and helps us get out there. And here we go. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, I think I want to kind of center this right here. We're going to take the back sheet off of this, and we're going to use ink on these. All right, I think I want to center this so that we get, that looks good. That looks good. The sides are a little off, but I think we're going to be good. All right, now when I am I'm kind of hurrying along because I know that this is going to take me a while to paint when I get to the painting part. All right, so I like to take a piece of painter's tape. If the design goes close to the edge, I like to take a piece of, I'm learning useful tips for creating my florals. Where to shop to get the best price? So much I know, there's, I'll tell you what, Karen did a great job teaching, didn't she? I did not know she was a teacher, but I could tell that she sounded like she was a teacher. All right, so we're going to use ink somewhere over the rainbow. Oh, come on. I got it out last night. Where did it go? There it is. It's hiding in the back. All right, so we're going to take Chocatour's ink. It's kind of like an acrylic. I don't really know what Chocatour puts in it, but it's kind of like an acrylic from the standpoint. All right, let me get some squeegees here. About 4 years ago, I saw somebody online doing this, and I thought it looked like fun. All right, this is a small squeegee. This is a mini squeegee. And I think I'm going to use the small squeegee. Muscle memory. Muscle memory is in your favor, okay? So when you're getting ready to paint, when you're getting ready to sketch, when you're getting ready to do something, I was not born with a paintbrush in my hand. So I'm learning to paint, and the level of crafting that I'm doing has kind of been boosted over the last 4 years. I saw somebody working with these squeegees, and I thought, well, that looks like fun. And it is. There is a learning curve, just like with anything else, but it is fun. So what I'm going to do is, muscle memory is in your favor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the squeegee, and I'm going to just kind of, run this over here to get an idea of what I need to do. Okay? And now that I have done that, no ink on here, now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put some ink on here. And I am going to spread this across in one direction. And it is going to go through, not really pushing it, but I'm going to get this all the way to the edge. And I like to go from the outside of the design into the center. And then that way I'm not pushing the ink underneath the stencil. And you can see I'm running out of ink. I'm going to need some more. I want to make sure that I get any lines that are on here off of here. And I'm going to dip in here and get some more. This part here is really not time consuming at all. But when we get into the painting part of this, it's going to take us a little bit more time. All right, going to the edge. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to take up all the excess paste or ink. So Chocatour has two products that are used with their stencils, paste and ink. Ink is for fabric and other things, and the paste is for everything else, anything that won't move. All right, so here we go with that. I'm going to stick that out of the way. Put this in here, and we're going to lift this up now. Okay, let me take the tape up first. Actually, I missed a spot, so let me, hang on. Let me come over here and get this edge. There we go. You don't want to, there's a time element that is involved with getting this up off of your surface so that the ink and the, and there we go. Are y'all watching? Ta-da! Oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. All right, I have some water here. And so I am going to, let me put this off to the side. Stick this in the water. Oh my gosh, will y'all look at that? And just like that, we went from plain to text. Now, any of you who follow my page know that I like to paint checks. I like to paint stripes. I like whimsical stuff. But this is kind of like, almost like a one and done type thing. All right, I'm gonna stick that in there, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show y'all how to clean that in just a minute. Oh my goodness, y'all. I am loving this. All right, so I got me a new drying tool, y'all. We'll see what happens with this. First time using this. So what do you think? Pretty fun, huh? All right, I'm not sure this is going to do what I want it to do. It seems kind of... All right, let me make sure my hands are clean. I have my backup here if I need it. And I think I might need it for this because this is really... All right, hold on. I'm going to have to switch to this because this is, for what I'm doing today, I'm going to need a little more power, y'all. So let me plug this in. All right, here we go. It's going to be a little bit loud. I need a little more air on this. Get it a little hotter. So I'm thinking I'm going to put a sunflower on top of this. I'm kind of excited to see how this is going to turn out. This has got a lot of ink on it, so it's going to take me a little bit longer than normal to dry. So I really pushed it through there. We turn it around so y'all can see what we got here. See what we did? We started with just a plain canvas bag. Put a stencil on top of it. Silk screened it through. And now we have one layer. The next layer is going to have a flower on it. After we dry this, we're going to heat set it. And what that will do... Thanks, Karen. I used a Chocolate stencil to silk screen my shirt too. This is just a t-shirt from Michaels that I got, and added a variety of different colors in it. Let me get my hair out of the way. I don't know if you can see, but there's gold around the outside edges, and you can use, obviously whatever colors you want. Now, this is really wet. Now, for those of you that may be new to, working with paint, one of the ways that you can tell that your paint is still wet is if it's shiny. If it's has a matte finish and it's shiny, what's happening is the water in the paint, the light is reflecting off of the water in the paint. So you want it to have a matte finish, and that's when you know that it's dry. Let me point y'all down a little bit, kind of up in the air. A lot of great crafters have come before me. For those of you that are just hopping on, you'll want to go back and check out all the beautiful things that people have made today. So this, I'm going to dry this, and then after I dry it, I'm going to take a Cricut heat press, and I will, at 305 degrees for 30 seconds in each section, I will put some heat on this. Just like, you know, when you have a stain in your clothes, and you don't want to throw, and it comes out of the washing machine and the stain hasn't come out yet, you don't want to put it in the dryer because you don't want the heat to set the stain in there. Well, in this case, hey Ken, I watch you all the time. How are you doing? Good to see you. Anyway, so when you pull something out of the washing machine, it still has a stain on it. You don't want to heat it. Well, now we want to use heat to our advantage. And what we're going to do is I'm going to heat set this, and that will keep us in here. And of course, this shirt, I have washed it I don't know how many times. I've got paint all over it. The thing I like about the Chocolate ink is that it's soft. A lot of times when you paint on fabric, you know, you get that stiff feeling. Well, the ink that Chocolate has is soft. All right, let me make sure I'm not getting anything. All right, this didn't go through. This is a bag. This is also a Chocolate tote bag, and it's pretty thick. I have done several of these bags, and it's a rugged canvas, so you can use it for just about anything. And it's a good medium-sized bag. It's, I don't know, it is, you know, it's not an extremely large bag, and it's not, you know, a little tiny thing either. All right, just getting closer. All right, it's feeling good. I got this one spot over here. All right, so we're going to put this down, and let me hang this. Well, let me stick it over here. All right, while we're waiting for that to heat up, let's take this sticky mat out of here so that we don't melt it. We're going to use it again when we get to the sunflower. And then while that's heating up, I want to show y'all how to clean All right, I'm going to pull this out of the water, and I'm going to just stick this right on top of my mat, and I'm going to take a board eraser, and I'm just going to get all of the ink out of the silkscreen area. Turn it over. Okay. Remember that when you put the ink on here, the ink goes through the top and out through the bottom. So you want to clean the top of your transfer and the bottom of your transfer. And the idea is to make sure that there is no ink inside the silkscreen area. It's okay if the transfer is stained. You just don't want it to... Love this sticky mat, y'all. I mean, this glass mat, y'all. I'm telling you, I looked and looked and tried to find some kind of surface to craft on. I tried cardboard. I tried, what is it called? Like cutting mats. I've tried a variety of different things, and everything just, nothing worked until I got to the glass mat. All right, so here we go. Just making sure that I get everything out of the silkscreen area. And then I'm just going to kind of dry this off a little bit. Dry my mat. And you can see this has got some stains on it, but that's okay because the stains aren't going to keep us from using the silk screen area. And I always say the shiny side to the sticky side is how you know. One side is a little bit yellow and the other side is pretty white and shiny. We're going to stick this on here. We're going to move that out of the way. And we are going to bring in our next thing that we're going to do. Clean this up. And just like that. I used to stand at the sink for, you know, I don't know, by the time I cleaned my brushes and cleaned all my squeegees and cleaned all my stencils, I'd stand at the sink for a long time, and I can just do everything here, and it just works. So I have no affiliation to a glass mat whatsoever, other than the fact that it is what has worked for me. All right, now we're going to bring in my wool mat. And we're going to bring in, let's do this on the, well, we'll have to do it in a couple of sections. All right, we're going to bring in the Cricut heat press. All right, here we go. And a piece of parchment paper. And we are going to do 30 seconds at 305 degrees in two sections, since this won't fit on the, won't cover the whole thing. I'm just going to leave it there. And then after we do both sides on the front, I'm going to flip this inside out, and I will do the same thing on the back, and I'll put the parchment paper in between the layers on the inside. I covered the actual ink wherever it may be so that it doesn't bleed into anything. It doesn't get on my Cricut heat press, and just kind of protects it. Now, you will notice a difference after you heat press this. Sometimes the ink will be a little bit tacky. After you heat press it, it won't be tacky anymore. And it's soft. And you can see, I mean, it goes right into the fibers of the fabric, y'all. As opposed to just sitting on top of it. All right, so let me just feel this and see what we got. All right, feels good. Now, I'm going to be adding paint on top of this, and that's why I want to heat press this in between layers. All right, I'm going to pull this inside out. I'm going to put my parchment paper in between here so that I know that the day that I don't put the parchment paper on top of this ink, that's going to be the day that it's going to bleed to the back or something. So I'm just not taking any chances. All right, let's see if we can get this kind of straight like we're sewing and get that seam right. Okay, all right, here we go, y'all. 30 seconds on each side. So 30 seconds at 305 degrees with the Cricut heat press. If you don't have a Cricut heat press, use an iron and put it on whatever the temperature of fabric that you're using. So if you're using cotton, your iron will go on a cotton setting. If you're using polyester, I don't do a whole lot of polyester, so I can't really say. I mean, you want to be careful that it's not too hot. All right. You don't want to melt it. And I don't know about nylon and rayon and all of that. I've always used like either cotton polyester blends or 100% cotton. And I think this is a cotton polyester blend. It's 70% cotton and 30% polyester. All right, then we're going to come over here and we're going to do 30 seconds again. And like I said, what this is doing is this is setting the ink. Now, this butterfly was really pretty easy to do because I used kind of what's called a hot mess method, where you just kind of put different colors on your surface, and then, you know, kind of smear them around and then squeegee it off. And it was a lot of fun to make. All right, so here we go. We got that. So we're going to pull this out. I'm going to turn this inside out. How we doing on time? 30 minutes. Okay. And like I said, this isn't going to crack or peel or anything because this is right into the fibers. All right, so this is what we have. Now, I could just leave it like this if I wanted to, and maybe put some ribbon or, you know, some other colors up top. I could do that, but I'm gonna just iron this fold one more time so that it's nice and flat. Because now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're gonna put a sunflower on top of this. Okay? All right, we'll pull this out of the way. We're going to put our sticky mat back inside here because we want a nice, taut, stiff surface. All right, here we go. I'm going to turn this around so I can look at it. And the first pass of what we're going to do, this is the second stencil that we're going to use. The first pass, what we're going to do is we're just giving ourselves an outline to paint within. All right, so here we go. Oh, I've got something on there. All right, so let me see where I want to put this. I think I want to put it over here. You know what? How do I want to do this? All right, let me think where I actually want to place this. I think I want to do it. I think I want to do it right here, y'all. All right, so I'm going to press this down so that I get a good seal on this. And because this design is close to the edge of the stencil, I'm going to put a piece of painter's tape here so that in case I go off of the stencil, I don't go onto my canvas. Okay. All right, and I'm going to, just to help hold this down a little bit, because I have used, both of these stencils I have used, this is the second time I'm using them. So these are reusable. All right, we are going to take, where is my copper? We're going to take Shimmer Copper. This is a Chalk Couture ink. I'm using all inks instead of paste today. And I'm going to take a stir stick and just see how nice and creamy and smooth this is. That's the consistency that you want. And get our tape out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead. I don't need this black squeegee, the squeegee that I used for the black anymore. So I'm going to put that in my water, get it out of the way. Let's see here. Hold on a minute. I want to reposition this. I want to reposition this a little bit. Let's try that. All right, y'all. Again, muscle memory is your friend. Take your squeegee and just kind of get an overview of what you're going to do. All right, let me see how I want to do this. All right, here we go, y'all. I'm going to come in here with the copper. And this is going to give me the outline of where I'm going to paint. Now, I don't have to paint this. I could just put this copper flower on here and then be done with it. But I want to add a little bit of color to this. Getting all the ridges of the ink off of here. Okay. And then I'm going to just cover this so that I don't stick my project. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, yes, y'all. All right, let me take this off of here. I'm going to put this in my water. I'll show you what I have in just a minute. Let me get that down under the water, because when you're working with the ink, you do not want to let the ink dry inside your silkscreen area, because then it's going to be kind of almost impossible to get out. It's a real workout, so you don't want to make that mistake. I've made that mistake. All right, so here we go. Hey, Lyndall, how are you? Thanks for joining me. All right, so let's dry this, and then I'll turn it around and show it to you. How we doing on time? 36. I think we're going to be able to do this, y'all. Okay, this is what it looks like before we paint it. Such a fun, quick, easy way to jazz up a canvas bag, y'all. This is drying pretty quickly. I don't have quite as much paint on here as I did, ink on here as I did with the checks. All right. And again, let me pull this out of here so y'all can see me clean this stencil. Get some of this water off of here. And just take your board eraser, run it over here. It's like a magic eraser. And remember that what you're after is to get the ink out of the silkscreen area. That's your mission. Cleaning both sides because the ink goes through the top and out the bottom. All right, let me rinse this out. If you take care of these stencils, they'll last you a good while. You'll get a lot of good use out of them. All right, and then wiping up my mat. Y'all, I love my mat. I love my mat. I love my mat. Did I say I love my mat? I love my glass mat. All right. Now, when you get the stencils wet, the adhesive of this neutralizes. I do not know what the chemical process is or reason, but it neutralizes, but then when it dries, it'll be sticky again. All right, now I'm just putting this on the back sheet. I'm going to get this out of the way. We don't need that anymore. And we're going to come in here. We're going to make sure this is clean. Get this out of the way. Don't need that anymore. And now we're going to come in here. We're going to take our sticky mat out so that we don't melt it. Put that off to the side because we'll use it again in a minute. All right, so wool mat. I'm going to take our wool mat, take our parchment paper. I'm going to get this out of the way. And same deal. We're going to take and we're going to heat press this for 30 seconds at 305 degrees. I like to heat press in between anytime I have new paint and I'm adding old, if I have old paint and I'm adding new paint. So I don't want to take any chances of any bleeding taking place or anything like that. So by heat pressing it, I take away the element of the possibility that the ink is going to bleed, because I'm going to water down some ink here in a minute, and because there's a higher concentration of water in there, it's going to seep into the canvas bag. But I don't want to reactivate any ink that's already there. So this is why I'm heat pressing between each section, each layer. Okay. All right. Put that off to the side. Take this out of the way. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to bring back our sticky mat again, just because I want a nice taut area. And I know I didn't do the inside. I'm not so concerned about the inside right now, okay? All right, so this is what we have. I could leave it like this and call it a day, but I don't do anything in my life simply. So I'm going to, my family's always saying, you always make things more difficult than they are. Well, you know, not really more difficult. It's just adding a little bit of pizzazz to it, right? All right, so what am I after? I am after I've got some of these little cups here. And I am going to take a stir stick. It's a Chocolate stir stick. And I am going to put some of this ink in here. Get a paper towel and put that down. And I'm going to put some distilled water in here. We're going to water this down a little bit. And this is probably where I should put an apron on. But we'll see what happens. Matter of fact, I think I am going to put an apron on. All right, I'm just getting this to a consistency that's not, it's kind of runny, but it's not totally runny. I'm going to do the petals first. Let's see how we're doing on time. We've got about 17 minutes. I think I want a little bit more water in this. There we go. Kind of like the consistency of craft paint, I guess you could say. All right, let me put that off to the side. Put that over there. I'm going to put the lid on this and wipe your hands, wipe your hands, wipe your hands, wipe your hands, and then wipe your hands again. All right, here we go, y'all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to get my brush wet, just some clean water. And I have like a stiff round brush. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start painting the petals. I can use a little bit more water in this. You can tell what you need by whether it drinks into the canvas or not. And then we're going to just come through and we're going to fill in each one of these petals. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know, because your brain will fill in whatever is missing. So don't feel like you have to get every little section covered. Now, because I put distilled water in this, if I don't use all of this, I can just put it back into my ink jar and mix it in with the rest of it. If you use tap water, you don't want to put it in there because tap water has microorganisms in it and it'll cause it to mold. All right, let's see here. Can y'all see what I'm doing? All I'm doing is just taking a paintbrush. This is kind of a stiff brush. And filling in, it's kind of like paint by number. The outline is already there. All you're doing is deciding what colors you want. And filling it in. And I'm using the same ink that I used, just a different color. Same Chalkateur ink. So that I can heat press this and it'll be nice and soft. It won't be stiff like vinyl or just plain paint. Now, you could use craft paint if you wanted to, but you're going to want to add some kind of medium to it so that it's not stiff. This won't be stiff when I get finished with it. It'll be nice and supple. And you can see, I'm kind of moving faster than I would normally, but you can see that this, you know, doesn't really take that much time, you know, one afternoon, and you've got yourself a new bag. Lyndall, how are things going on your end? I remember you saying that you had a revival. Tell me what's going on. I like to hear how God is moving. Anybody have any God stories you want to share with us? I have some sparkly paint that I'm thinking I want to add to this. I've got more ink than I'm gonna need. So, like I said, because I put distilled water in this, I'll just be able to add it right back to my jar of ink with no worries at all. And because this is a water-based ink, it cleans up easily. And it can get dry, so if you open your jar and it's not creamy, dreamy, then you're going to want to add a little bit of distilled water to it till you get it back to the consistency of sour cream or yogurt. And we're almost done with this. And then we'll get some leaves on here. How are we doing on time? 10 minutes. But this is the brush that I'm using. It has a nice stiff, it's a round brush, and it's nice and stiff so that it kind of stays within the lines of where I'm painting. Oh, I love hearing that. Share some stories with us. What's he doing? All right, we're almost done with the sunflower, and we're going to go in with the leaves. Okay, oops. All right, let me clean my brush. Let me show you what we have. Okay, and so now what we've done is we've just taken and added another element here. And let me get some green. I'm going to do some green for the leaves. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the yellow. I'm going to take and I'm going to put some of this in a little cup and get it so that it's about the consistency of craft paint. Not too runny. That's a little too runny, so I'm going to add more. Remember that if I don't use all of it, then I can actually just throw it back in here and mix it in. It won't hurt anything. All right, this is looking good. I want to try and get through as much as I can get through while I still have, y'all can still see what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Going in here. I'm just going to stir this up a little bit with my brush. And I'm going to come in here with some light green. And then I will go back and maybe, I think I'm going to do like some highlights with some darker green. Now, there are two ways to, two things that you can do with this. One of the things that you can do is just paint it and be done with it. The second thing that you can do is paint it and then go over the image again by putting your stencil back on the canvas bag. But I'm trying to stay away from the copper lines, and that way I'll be done after I'm finished painting. And because there's some black on here, you could do an undercoat of white to kind of bring everything back to the neutral stage. But I'm just going to paint right on top of everything. It was kind of thick. Just kind of going along the, I would do the stem too. And then I will heat set this again. And that will set everything. And once it's all set, then you're done. You can throw it in the washer and dryer. Launder it as often as you need to. And you'll be done. All right, I got 5 minutes. I'm going to come up here and add some more green on top of this black. And it's just kind of like coloring is all you're doing. I have found that using a stiff brush is the easiest way to work with this method. You don't have to use a stiff brush, but I have just found that that works best for me. I will show y'all what I have here in just a minute as soon as I get all this leaf right here. Now, I've been a chalk couture designer for about, I don't know, 4 years, something like that. And a lot of fun things I've learned since coming into this crafting area. All right, I do want to go back, but we're running low on time, so I want to go back and actually put some darker green on top of this so that it's got some more colors in it. So let me dry this. We'll heat set it. I'm not done with the leaves yet, but I'm running low on time. Oh, good question. Oh, hold on a minute. Michael's. Hold on and I'll tell you what it is. Hang on a minute. I'll tell you because I left the tag on here. Oh, it's an oil brush. Okay, well, so much for that. It's called Sorrento, Sorrento, Artist Loft. I guess that's Michael's brand. Round brush, number 4, level 1. Take a screenshot of it and see if that helps you. Okay, got it? I've had this for several years, and it seems to be my go-to brush whenever I am using when I'm doing something like this. And it's stiff. I don't know how else to explain it. It's stiff. All right, we got to get this dry. This is going to take a couple layers of paint for the leaves because we're going over this black. We've got 2 minutes. Faded Trisha with Faded Fence is coming up after me. Make sure that you refresh your page and see what Trisha's going to have, what she's going to teach us or show us or bless us with. All right, let me show you what I have. This is what we have. I need to do at least one more layer of paint, maybe 2 more layers. I will heat set this, and then I will go back and I will paint some more so that I can layer this. All right, y'all, so this is my flower project for today, something that has to do with, isn't that cool? This is what it started out with. This is how we started. Looked like this. And then we silk screened. We did a layer silk screening with the Chalk Couture stencil. And, you know, it's just so much fun to work with. All right, y'all have a great day. Go check out, I lost it already. Faded Fence with Trisha. And I love you. Jesus loves you more. Talk to you later. Bye, y'all.